Well, welcome to Dave and Fletch. What's your opinion? If you were in our pop pundit, whereabouts would you place yourself?
Probably somewhere between 1 and 2.
Yes, I thought that might be the most obvious answer. Well, I really enjoyed your video. I believe it was shot somewhere like Kew Gardens. It certainly looks like that.
Japan, actually.
Japan, really?
Well, it's a bit of a lie.
High Wycombe.
High Wycombe, I see. Was it very expensive? Because you've got a lot of very interesting images and things.
Well, this video, yeah, has cost quite a lot of money compared to some of our other videos. I think it's the most we've ever spent on one promo.
It's still not as much as a lot of bands, and the main reason why it's cost a little bit more is because it's shot on 35mm instead of 16mm, because we're shooting mainly in the dark. So we had to go for the better quality.
Do you create your own ideas for the video, or do you have a production team that come up?
Well, it's like a lot of time it's like a joint thing what we do. Sometimes we'll come up with ideas, we'll sit down with a director, and then we'll just go thrash out ideas. Yeah. But this particular video was mainly Peter Care's ideas.
Because presumably when you write the songs and you create the songs, you know exactly the images you want to then place.
No, not really the case. No. I mean, we tend to sort of see. Videos, I think, take over too much, really, you know. A lot of people say that they're very important, but I think a lot of the time the song's forgotten, you know, and we try to put a lot more emphasis on recording the song and making the song good, and then we come to the video. The video is always secondary to us.
What do you think is your most interesting video to date?
I think it's got to be People Are People.
People Are People. Well, it just so happens that we have a little bit of People Are People to show you, and it'd be quite interesting to see the various differences.
No, I didn't, but they did, you know.
Great. Well, that was shot on HMS Belfast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I found it quite aggressive. Is that what you were trying to say through the video?
Well, the song's quite hard sounding, you know, the sounds on the record are very hard, you know, we've got a lot of metal on there and things, and we just felt doing it somewhere like that where there is a lot of metal and a lot of machinery would be good, you know.
Whose idea was that?
It was again the
sort of joint idea.
We discussed it over the director, and we liked his idea of the location, so we went along with him.
Great. With your image, obviously you've got a lot of fans that watch carefully what you wear and fashions and things. Is that very important to you?
Well, you know, we try not to base too much emphasis on that as well, you know. I mean, we all sort of have our own style of dress, really. We all like buying clothes and things, but again, you know, the music's more important to us. I mean, we all, you know, we like dressing up, obviously.
I mean, there's me on.
I mean, look at Andy, you know.
But you have a great responsibility for people who buy your records. You know, they listen to you very carefully, what you say, what you wear.
Well, I just think it's important to, you know, to shop around. You know, if anyone wants any advice, you know, to shop around a bit. You know, I think you can find the things you want. You know, if you just look around a bit, and they're not too expensive.
And you've been doing a tour recently, haven't you? In Hungary and Poland.
Yeah, whilst we was actually recording the single, halfway during the recording, we went off and done some festivals in Europe, and we done a gig in Poland, a gig in Hungary. We was at a riot in Athens.
Is it very similar doing concerts out there than as it is?
Well, the crowd react the same. Yeah, but obviously, in fact, they go a bit more crazy because they don't really get many bands.
Do they get lots of English groups and lots of records and LPs available?
See, the trouble is, you're not allowed to take any money out of the country, so very few bands go there. We just went for the experience.
Did you see any Russian bands when you were there?
No, there's a few Polish bands. We didn't actually see them, but they are around, you know. Quite a few punk bands, Polish punk bands.
Are they very aware of Western pop music?
Oh yeah, I mean, they do. They try and get hold of the things, you know. They actually sort of can get things on import, but they're very expensive. You know, so it's
the clubs. We went to a couple of clubs, student clubs, and they were playing like normal records. They seem to have got all the records.
That's great. Well, all the very best to the new single. I'm sure it's going to do very well. And thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you.
Remember that Fletch and Dave from Depeche Mode, their new single, It's Called The Heart, is one of our pop pundit choices this week.